They did not send men here to punish them. They sent men here to be forgotten. Once you stepped onto this island, the world outside stopped knowing your name or your face.
Devil's Island, a place so cruel, so dark, that even history was too afraid to look.
Somewhere in Paris, a letter was passed that night. It said one prisoner was still alive.
That letter was burned before anyone could read it. Some secrets are too dangerous to keep.
Beneath the island, a hidden tunnel stretched into silence, and someone was still reaching out there. A hand reached into the dark, and we never saw whose it was, or what it.
An old guard sat in silence for 60 years. Then one morning he opened his mouth.
Even after decades, the shame was heavier than any chain they had ever put on him.
One man escaped this island, and no one knows how, and it has never stopped whispering.
An island so small, so forgotten, that the maps of this world barely bother to show.
The ocean was not water. It was a violent wall, and that wall swallowed everything alive. Sharks circled the island every day, like patient judges, silently waiting for those who dared run. Behind the prison walls, a jungle so thick and poisonous, it became a second cruel prison.
They called it that name for a reason, and every man who arrived understood it immediately.
The ship carried men toward the island, like a coffin, drifting slowly toward the dark sea.
The moment their feet touched that shore, they understood one thing. They were never going home.
The gates opened like the mouth of something ancient and hungry, and it had been waiting.
Inside there was no sunlight, no color, only chains and the distant, endless crashing of waves. That first night, no one slept. Every man lay in the darkness and stared at walls. France had too many prisoners and too much shame, so they built what no nation dared.
They called it penal exile. They called it justice. The prisoners called it something else entirely.
Political prisoners were sent there, men who spoke against power, whose only crime was the truth.
Dangerous criminals were shipped there, killers and thieves. Men's society wanted erased from existence completely, forever.
Then came the innocent ones, men convicted by lies, destroyed by a system that never cared. Ship after ship left France, carrying men into the unknown. Most families never heard from them.
The voyage lasted weeks, with no sunlight and no air, and men arrived already completely broken inside.
Back in France, families waited for letters that never came. And hope.
The heat never stopped, 35-degree every day, burning down on men with no shade. Malaria spread like fire. Men fell sick every day, and no one ever came to help.
Rotten food and rusty water, but they ate it, because starvation was a far worse fate. Every morning the bell rang, and the same chains were locked around the same broken wrists.
They cut stone from dawn to dusk. Hands bled, backs broke, and tomorrow it starts again.
They built roads with their hands and blood, roads leading nowhere. No one would ever walk.
Sometimes they dug graves for their own brothers, men they shared cells with, who stopped breathing. By evening, they returned to dark cells. Nothing. No warmth, no blankets, no hope. Just stone. Blankets. No letters arrived, and no one visited. For most prisoners, the outside world had stopped existing.
guards used clubs, whips, and silence. Every weapon they had was designed to destroy broken men.
The whip did not care if you were guilty or innocent. It only ever knew pain.
Silence was the cruelest weapon. When guards said nothing, men grew more afraid than any whip.
Dark cells were the true punishment. Stone boxes with no light, no sound, nothing at all.
The door closed, the lock turned, and from that moment, the man inside forgot sunlight entirely.
Inside there was nothing, no light, no sound, no way to tell day apart from night.
Days became weeks, and weeks became months inside the black box. Time stopped making any sense.
Men talked to the walls and screamed at shadows as the darkness ate their minds slowly.
Some forgot their own names, forgot their families, and forgot everything that once made them human. Weeks passed in isolation, no food on time, and no water except what dripped from the ceiling.
Months in that darkness destroyed men that no physical punishment in this world could ever break.
Some came out broken beyond repair. Their bodies lived on, but the man inside was gone.
Some never came out. The door opened one morning, and inside there was only cold silence. Every prisoner dreamed of escape, but this island was built to make that dream truly impossible. Escape meant jumping into shark waters at night, choosing a completely different and much darker death.
He jumped, the wind swallowed his scream, the ocean swallowed the rest, and freedom lasted seconds. Most drowned within minutes. The current was too strong. The ocean never once cared about hope.
Few reached the mainland, but the jungle was another prison, with no walls and no escape.
They wandered days with no food, no water, and the jungle swallowed them piece by piece. Days later, guards found their bodies in the mud, torn apart by the jungle, completely alone.
Alfred Dreyfus was a French military officer, educated, respected, loyal. He never imagined what was coming. In 1894, they accused him of treason. And there was no proof, but the accusation was enough.
They stripped his medals one by one and broke his sword and destroyed everything he had built.
For years, he sat alone on that island, innocent, forgotten, while truth slowly surfaced in France. The Dreyfus affair shook France, divided families, ended careers, and proved the entire system was corrupt.
When they freed him, France could never undo what they had done, and some wounds never heal.
No one counted the dead, but historians know most men sent to that island never returned. Malaria killed hundreds, starvation killed more. Infections rotted in tropical heat until men had nothing left.
Beatings broke bones that never healed, wounds left to rot. No doctor ever came to help.
Some died alone in silence. No one knew their names, and no one ever mourned them.
France wanted to forget these men existed. For decades, it succeeded. The island became truly unspeakable.
By the early 1900s, the world began hearing whispers about horrors on a tiny, forgotten island.
International pressure mounted. Activists demanded answers. The French government was cornered, and the whole world watched.
In 1953, France closed the gates forever.
Guards left, the cells went empty, and the island became at last a silent, haunting place.
Silence has swallowed the island, but beneath the roots and the ruins, the screams never stopped.